Hello from Myrtle Beach. Today we are down a little south of Myrtle Beach. We are biking through Garden City and Surfside Beach, heading north. So we're heading in the general direction of Myrtle Beach today. Hi, I'm Carmen. If you're new here, we cover everything Myrtle Beach and the surrounding area. And if you're a return viewer, welcome back. So it is a gorgeous morning for a bike ride. It is really warm. It's starting to feel like true summer now. It is hot, it is humid, but it is beautiful. We just stopped and looked at the beach. It's a gorgeous morning. I'll pan over so you can see it, maybe just a little bit of it. There's some dunes there, but you kind of get the idea. But it is so beautiful today. We have filmed biking this going the other direction, and it's been a long time since we've done that. It was last year. So we thought it's time for a new one, and we're going to do it in the opposite direction. So like I said, going south to north through Garden City. So we are coming up right here to the Garden City pier where that stoplight is ahead. You've got a large arcade on the left. You've got different types of food options to the left as well. The pier actually has some food and some live entertainment and drinks. And the pier here is free, as well as the parking. Garden City is not actually a city, it's in the county. And the county does not charge for parking. So the pier has some free parking. The beach access has free parking. So you've got all kinds of options here. So even if you're staying in Surfside, if you need to drive somewhere, you might want to consider coming down to Garden City because everything's free here. Well, not everything obviously, but the parking and the pier, they don't charge a fee to go out on the pier. At least the last time we went out. That could change in the future, of course. That's at the time of this recording. So this is on a early morning on the weekend, just for frame of reference. It is, let me check my watch. It is 8:12 right now. So that gives you an idea of the timing. So people are just getting out and about. Still quite a few people out because we are in full tourist season. It is crowded down. It's that time of the year when everybody comes to enjoy some time at the beach. Can't say I blame them. I like being here year round, so I don't blame them at all. If you do choose to bike here, a couple of pointers. Just, I won't belabor this because I know a lot of you probably don't bike, but just two quick things. One, always watch for cars like that one that are coming from the side. I have an incredibly loud horn that I can honk on this bike. It's like a car level loudness that people can hear inside their cars. Always keep an eye out for that. And I personally recommend, especially if you're not familiar with the area and if you're bringing your bikes on your car, I would recommend going up to actual Myrtle Beach and doing Ocean Boulevard there. You still get the views of the ocean and everything, but it has a dedicated bike lane. But that's not always the best idea because sometimes there's festivals and they block off Ocean Boulevard. So you just have to be aware of what's going on. Sometimes they close it down or close parts of it. So you just want to keep an ear out for that and know what's happening. This is not a bad one if you do it early in the morning. Later in the day, this is just a non-stop stream of cars because there's kind of only one way in and one way out. You can go up that Garden City connector. That was where that stoplight was we went under. Or you can come all the way down to Surfside and cut across to get to Kings Highway or 17. So there's not a ton of ways in and out, so that causes this road to get quite congested. The flip side is you don't have a lot of high rises on this road. There's a few, but they're not even that high, not compared to the proper Myrtle Beach Ocean Boulevard. Part of this street is called Waccamaw when you're in Garden City, and then part of the street is called Ocean Boulevard when you get down to Surfside. It switches over. You don't actually change the road you're on, the name just changes. So we're still at Garden City, so again, it's free parking. It says right there on the sign. I think the only restriction they have is no overnight parking in the public beach access, and that's standard. That's standard for the public beach access parking. Surfside, like I mentioned, charges for their parking during tourist season, and Myrtle Beach also charges for parking during tourist season, and they're actually talking about extending that to year round. There are other parking options though. If you're clever, you can find them, just like I mentioned, the Garden City free parking. There's other options as too. And also if you're willing to walk a little bit, a lot of times if you don't mind going a block in, it's not too bad. I am going to take a detour here because I do not want to go through that giant puddle. So bear with me. And yes, before someone says it, I know you shouldn't bike on the sidewalk, but there's no pedestrians and I'm not going to go through a giant puddle. Cars are coming, we're good. There we go. If you're not a biker, you may not understand that, but your bike will completely drench you. It will splash all that muddy, yucky water right up on you. Even just riding on this road with the sand and stuff, I end up covered in sand, especially my lower legs end up sandy. Small price to pay for this beautiful bike ride. So there's the Garden City Inn. And then this large building here to my right with the big parking deck, that is the Royal Garden, also in Garden City. Hence the names. A lot of the rentals here, even the ones that look like hotels, are actually condos, but there are some that still rent like hotels, but a lot of them are condos, and most of the houses you see are rentals as well. There's not a lot of I just go on to Marriott and book a night, not a lot of that. So here's one of those public beach accesses. I'll slow down. So, like I said, free parking, usually a porta pot. I think that one did have one. And, which if you're not familiar, if you're from somewhere else outside the country, a porta pot is a toilet that doesn't flush. It's got some chemicals in it, but it doesn't flush. Porta potty, I think, is what most people call them. But anyway, at least you've got that option. It's something. Not the greatest. But, if you're only coming down for a couple hours, you probably won't need it anyway. Unless you have little kids or something like that. And that's actually a difference worth mentioning compared to Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach's public accesses, I'd say 90% of them do not have any form of bathroom whatsoever. There is a bathroom right across the street from the Skywheel that's a public bathroom. Obviously there's businesses, but technically, unless you're patronizing those businesses, you're not supposed to use their toilet. But I know some of you have said you go in the arcades and things like that. And then I think at the very far north end of Myrtle Beach, I mean way north, there are some porta potties or something like that, but not much. I mean, there's not many places in Myrtle Beach where their public beach accesses have any kind of a bathroom. So it's kind of a plus down here to the south. If you're wondering where Surfside and Garden City are, if you're not familiar already with them, you probably are if you're watching this video, but if you're not, they are just south of Myrtle Beach. It's the same beach, basically. It's part of the Grand Strand. So you have Myrtle Beach, then the county land starts right before the Myrtle Beach State Park, and the Myrtle Beach State Park is in the county, which is Horry County. Here's the Conch Cafe to the right. That's oceanfront dining. And then right after the state park, there's a little more county land where all the big campgrounds are, and then you've got Surfside. And Surfside is a 2x2 square mile city. And then, like I said, you have Garden City Beach, which despite the name is not a city. It is a census designated area, whatever that means. It means it's not a city. And it is in the county. Here's one Ocean Place, this large, I assume hotel, could be condos. Leave us in the comments if you know. Also, leave in the comments, do you prefer to stay in Myrtle Beach or do you prefer to stay somewhere else? And if it's somewhere else, let us know in the comments. Like, do you like Surfside, Murrells Inlet, Garden City, North Myrtle Beach? Let us know in the comments. And if you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps us a lot. We will be showing Surfside in this video as well, so hang tight, we're almost there. Actually, we may technically be there. It's hard to tell where it rolls over. There's not like a giant sign announcing it. You can tell by the public beach access, because all of a sudden they will look completely different. Let's see, take a look at this one. Can't tell. I think we might be in Surfside now because they have more sidewalks and stuff, so we probably have, and the roads get better. The roads are a little smoother in Surfside City, so I'm gonna say we're there. If you think I'm wrong, leave it in the comments, but I think we have arrived. Like I said, there's not a clear line, but it's very obvious from the public. Yeah, we are. There's one of the public beach access. I know you probably can't see it to my right. So we are absolutely in Surfside now. It is a beautiful little town. Like I said, very small, but very beautiful. They do a nice job with the landscaping here. Like I said, good sidewalks. It's called the family-friendly beach, so I get a lot of questions about that. You know, if I've got little children, where's a good safe place to stay? Nowhere is 100% safe. It just doesn't exist. But I would say Surfside or Garden City are definitely more family friendly. You also have a lot less entertainment, but if you're just here for the beach, you're gonna have a great time. And if you stay near the central part of Surfside, you've got quite a few restaurant options. Not a lot of entertainment though, like I said, but I'll show you those restaurants as we go by. There's quite a few places to eat. You've got the pier. We just passed public beach access that had one of their actual proper restrooms. When I say proper, I mean flushing toilet. And if you're wondering why I'm talking about the restrooms so much, we get so many questions about that. That and parking. I think those are our number two biggest questions that we get. I'm actually planning to do a video soon on where to park if you are going to the Myrtle Beach boardwalk, in case you're not staying on the boardwalk and you want to drive there to ride the Skywheel or go to Ripley's attractions. They have the Ripley's Believe It or Not and several other attractions, some new ones coming soon, or just walk on the boardwalk, just see it. The parking situation there is, there's a lot of parking, but it's complicated. It's not a one-word answer where to park. So we're planning to do a video on that soon, so stay tuned for that. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit that little notification bell, and you'll find out anytime we put a new video out. We usually put 2 new videos out a week during the main season. Sometimes we go down to 1 during the off season. And we do live here, so we're continually putting Myrtle Beach videos in the surrounding area out. You can tell the traffic is starting to pick up just a little, but like I said, it'll get crazy busy later. A lot of people out getting a morning walk or jogging. We've seen tons of bikers this morning because we already biked all the way to the other end of Garden City. Beautiful day though. Perfect day to be out. When is your favorite time to come to the Myrtle Beach area? Do you enjoy the main tourist season in the summer, or do you like the fall, winter, or spring better? Leave a comment and let us know. If you're curious about the weather here, we do have a playlist in the description below where we detail all the weather information, meaning average temperatures, water temperatures, all different kinds of stuff. Storms, we talk about all of it, and we even talk about big festivals that come certain times of the year in those videos. So if you're interested in that, that is in the description below, so you can plan for your trip better and what to pack. Over here to the left, Pelican Pass, I thought I would throw out. I think all of them are going to be different because they're privately owned condos, but my parents did rent one of those, and I think they felt like it was okay. It's right across the street from the beach, which is nice. I think they felt like it could use a few updates, but otherwise they enjoyed it. No major issues. People are always asking me where to stay, and since we live here, that's a hard question to answer. And they're always asking to film hotels too, and unless you're staying there, that's a tricky thing to do because hotels don't want you wandering around if you're not staying there filming for obvious reasons. But we do have a few hotel videos in Myrtle Beach if you're interested. We've got the Marriott Residence Inn Oceanfront. We've stayed there a couple of times, maybe 3 times now. That was when we were between moving, so we'd already sold our vacation home that we had here, and we had not yet moved into our new house. And we've also stayed at the Hampton Inn at Broadway at the beach, and we stayed both Broadway side and the other side, so we've got 2 videos on that. And we've stayed at the Fairfield Inn and Suites at Broadway at the beach. We've got a video on that. And then we have also stayed at the Hampton Inn and Suites that is oceanfront, but that was actually before we started YouTubing, so that was a long time ago. So I can't really vouch for it, but some of you have told me it's still nice. It was really nice when we used to stay there. Also, if you're coming and renting a golf cart, definitely check out the rules on that. Each city has different rules, so I can't list them to you here, but they do have restrictions on which streets you can drive them on, what time of day you can drive them, all that kind of stuff. So definitely check that out so that you don't get pulled over by law enforcement. Okay, over here, I'm gonna go a little slower so we can talk about everything. On the left is Neil and Pam's. They just recently reopened. They had a fire. And then over to my right is the Surfside Beach Oceanfront Hotel, and that is a hotel, so that's a place you could stay if you're looking for just an easy place to rent a room. It is not cheap though, I'll tell you that. Well, nothing Oceanfront is. The Chimichanga Llama is to my left, the Gracious Pig. And then over on the right is Pizza Hyena. And then over here is the Surfside Pier. And also right next to the pier is the River City Cafe. And we do have a video on that, so I will link that in the description below. We have eaten there, and it's oceanfront dining. It's mostly burgers. They also have a little bit of fried seafood and some salads, but it's mostly burgers. As you can see though, it's a beautiful sort of quiet, I mean, when I say quiet, I don't mean people, I just mean it's not noisy here. Like, you don't have a lot of noise. Now as a kid screams, of course, I don't know if you could hear that, but it's just a peaceful, well, I guess that's why they call it family friendly place to hang out. Really enjoyable. But like I said, you're probably going to want to go to Myrtle Beach for entertainment, because when you can go out to Kings Highway. Surfside is very close to Kings Highway, so I mean, you can go out to Kings Highway, which is also called Business 17, and there are tons of things to do. Shopping, restaurants, some putt-putt, all that type of entertainment on those roads, so you can definitely check that out as well. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to click on the video on your screen right now and click subscribe so you won't miss anything new. Thanks so much for watching. Until our next adventure.